So here I am in Maya, and I'm working with Dynamixyz Performer. And this is going to be if you're somewhat advanced, but this is a problem. And I have to say that right now, Dynamixyz is probably the leader in my tests. So they do the best job of facial mocap. So just because I'm griping right now doesn't mean I'm hating. Um, but here I've got this inconsistency. We see the lips are closed. Those are my lips. And these lips are open. And I want to fix this in the proper way that they recommend, which is to create one of these frames over here. And I can't even recall what the name they have for these frames. Tracking profile mode. So I need a tracking profile frame. And once I get that done, I'll be able to add a pose to that frame. But this process is really painstakingly slow with tons of clicks. What I'd really like is, I really like the auto tracking that happened here, and I would like that to be inserted over here. And then I could immediately go and just adjust the lips here. Now I could do this with something they don't talk about in any of their videos right here, which is called a anchor frame. But an anchor frame doesn't train the model. So we don't learn from that in future use. So I really want this to be well trained. But we're going to see right now how painful this process is because I'm very happy with this, but I can't just insert that and immediately start working on adjusting my control rig. I have to do hundreds, not hundreds, but way too many clicks to get this done. So here's how the process works. I click here on my frame. So this is frame number 933 of 1,601 frames. So I want to insert that, and it'll get inserted over here in the proper order. So here we are, between 852 and 942. So to do that, I click up here. Okay, and I'll wait, insert the current frame into the profile. So I do that. Okay, and I'm very happy with this. Use this one. That's done automatically. And even if I clicked over here on auto annotation, it would do a great job. In fact, let's just do that just to show you. It does a great job. And I would just like to assume that this was the one that's inserted. This might even be a better job. Look at that. The lips are closed. You can even blow up. And, you know, it's a rough call to say which one's better. I'm fairly happy with what's going on over here. So I'm going to say use this one. Okay, and now I would love to immediately just go in and start editing the control rig on this, but that's not the way this works at all. You have to go back over here. You have to click here. So just count the clicks. It's really endless, okay? And then I've got to click in here and I have to make a change, even though I'm totally happy with the way it looks, right? So why I even have to click over here and make a change when I'm already happy, right? So I have to make some change, and usually I change the jawline because it doesn't appear that these things affect much at all. These ones over here, I don't want to change over here because that'll have a more major effect. And then I've got to click off this or some way to save it. Right now it's on automatic saving, and I'll only save if I click off it. If I don't do this process, I'm going to start to get error messages up here. Now I'm able to, because this face is blacked out, it's got none of the solving done, I'm able to go over here. Okay, and now I can go over here and adjust the pose. And I actually have this set up so that the pose works better over here. So I'm gonna do that. So I want the lips to be closed and pursed. So I go over here and I have this little pursing control, and I kind of want it to be just like that. So that looks good for me. I'm going to make sure the jaw too is at 0, and it's not. So let's just 0 out the jaw. Okay, and now maybe that looks a little bit rough. Well, I'm going to leave it like that. That works good enough for me. Okay, now I go back over here, and these are all the clicks you've got to do just to get this one thing done, when all you really want to do is just adjust the mouth rig on that one spot. And again, anchor frames would do it, but you don't get any future benefit for doing an anchor frame. So I didn't solve for the upper, I didn't solve for the I just solved for the lower. I've got to click there and I've got to click save. And if you think I'm even close to done, I'm not. So now I've got the little exclamation point here because I've now rebuilt my targeting profile. So just to change this one frame, I have to go through all of this. Now I go over here, it tells me I'm not up to date. So again, more clicking. I can't just click here and have it build. Okay, so I say click. Now, it's understandable that these things take a while. I think it would be kind of interesting to think how they could how isolate that one frame from all the others so they don't have to build the entire tracking profile. But I can't go right there because I'm not the programmer, so I can't tell you why that doesn't work. So this is time, and I'm okay with the time that it takes to do all this calculation. And just to make sure that this is efficiently using my computer, I'll go down here and CPU. Well, the only thing that's really using my CPU aggressively is the video capture of the screen right now. So they're not doing a lot of major calculations here. They're not taking full advantage of the CPU. So I feel like this process could go much quicker. So there's something in their programming. Maybe it's just sort of old fashioned. Now it's catching up. It's like 50%. Okay, so now it has another dialog box that I'm going to have to click out of. Okay, retargeting profile correctly built. You can solve for animation by using the solve button. Okay, so now all the clicks I'm going to have to do to go there. It doesn't just say, do you want me to do this for you? Okay, so now I click here. And now I have to click over here. And this is all, again, just to adjust this one frame. And then I have to click over here, and you have to basically know about all this. And we're not done. Watch. So I have this window, and this window is poorly designed. So on my second screen, which isn't as nice as my main screen, this window is taking up way too much space, and I can't click the solve button down here. So it'd be nice, especially since this window is never bigger than that, if this window were designed like this. But these are the settings that you use curve simplification, right, which is great because it doesn't put a keyframe at every frame. High fidelity, I'm looking for high quality. And then I'm going to say solve. Okay, and now it's going through the retargeting process, all again to fix one frame. And it warns me constantly of these errors that are kind of foolish errors, right? It's telling me that my controls don't have the ability to move in the X direction or the Z direction. That's, of course, because it's a control rig, and you do limit the direction in which your control rigs move. But it warns me every time there's no way to turn this off. So I have to add this extra click over here. And then I have to, of course, click off this dialog box because it's done. And now I should be able to see whether that worked. And I've got my 933, frame number 933 over here. And I can go in here and move closer to 933. I'm at 800, 600, 913. Audio doesn't start right away, so you've got to give it a little bit of runway. So maybe I move back. And let's see if this...
Men with hope.
Okay, let's try that again.
Like men with hope.
Oh, so much better. So much better. So yeah, this is great software. It's just the interface is really difficult if you're going back and trying to tweak. Really difficult. So the simpler way would be to set an anchor point. So if you weren't looking to use this main character, this main person, to do all your voiceover. So the reason why they do these character profiles is you might use this one person to do tons of animation. And so you want all the points possible to set this up. And of course, as I dive more into this software, I'll probably get better at doing this and know that I've got to add, what are these called again? I've got to add tracking profile points at very specific points. So the letter M seems to be a problem. P seems to be a problem. Almost anywhere where the mouth closes really quickly and opens. B, right? You can feel that even if you just say B. It closes, your lips purse, and then you jut out your mouth pretty quickly. And that's what's missing in almost all the other facial mocap solutions. And Dynamix gets the closest. And unlike what I've seen so far with Faceware, Dynamixyz does not get insanely jittery. So I'm dealing with a jittery issue with them. So that's pretty good. Let me just play this where I'm at right now. So this is just obviously I just made stuff up at the spur of the moment. I tried to quote some Shakespeare thing.
Fortune and men's eyes.
So the M there's not great.
Alone they weep.
Very good.
Outcasts stay. And trouble death heaven with my bootless cry.
Awesome. But I had to do work there to get bootless to
Curse upon myself and curse my fate.
the M there is not great.
Wishing me one. More like.
So that one where they curse my fate, right? Let's blow this timeline up around that point. And there's an M there that's just not great, right? And that's the stuff that I hate. So let's play this.
Curse my fate. Wishing me one.
Wishing me. It should scrub. It'd be great if the audio scrubbed here. It scrubs in Maya, but it does not scrub in Dynamixyz. Wishing me. Something just not great there. Let me see.
Wishing me one.
Wishing. There's a lot of stuff there that's not great. I've just started working with the software. This is my first attempt.
Wishing me one.
All right, so that's, I will do more about how to get started with Dynamixyz because it's such great software. But that's just sort of my list of complaints. I'll probably send this to the tech support people, see maybe they even have easy answers for all this, and maybe I'm just being foolish. But I don't think so. I'm pretty good at software, and I feel like that's something they could work on because, as you know, if you're doing facial mocap, you're going to be going back and tweaking endlessly. And my biggest gripe is if I set this frame, it would be great if it just immediately accepted that frame, did all the work that it had to do, and got me to the point where I could add this pose. So basically say, use this and incorporate it and save it over here so I don't have to go over there and move a control button or whatever, and then save it and then press all these buttons up here to get all back to this one spot because I like this. Use this one. It's great. Would be great. And move me 5 steps ahead. Okay. I don't want that one. So I'm just going to click out. So that's it for now. Later.